Okay, folks, thank you for joining me on this video. If you're one of the 8-1 students, this is a very familiar page to you. If you are the parent of an 8-1 student, thanks so much for clicking through and taking a look at what we're working on. This is the main page for our current project. You'll notice down this left-hand margin are a number of different skill areas. These are the areas that we've asked students to focus on throughout the course of the quarter. So you'll notice that each of these skill areas is a short passage. We've asked students to, as a result, break them down, paraphrase them a little bit, talk a little bit about them so that they can come to a better understanding of what each skill area involves. Once they've done that, we've asked students to make some decisions about where they want to work. So these project options here are just that, they're options. Students could pick any one of these options, they could pick several of these options, or they could pick something completely different that they think does a better job addressing that skill area. Our hope is that by the end of the quarter, students will have both some significant depth in a lot of these skill areas, but also have the breadth of having addressed a lot of the different skill areas that we've decided to use for the third quarter here. Once a student is finished with a project, they're going to submit the document. Submitting a document is as easy as filling out a form. Students will click through that link and they will get to this form. They'll fill out some demographic information and some information about the project, and then they're going to select the primary skill area. This is the area where students feel as if they deserve to earn the most points. When they click that skill area, they're going to then follow through and complete the document, complete the evaluation. But the evaluation is going to kick them to a page that is distinct to that skill area. And they will then see the project rubric for that skill area. When students go through this process and they click submit, that document, that form submission will then be placed on a spreadsheet that we will then evaluate. So we have big plans for what we're going to do with that evaluation and the feedback that we provide for students. But for right now, the two most apparent spaces that students will find information from us is on the document itself. We are working to provide students with a lot of information on their document and feedback so that they can either decide to continue working on the project or decide to move on to something else. But the other spot that they can find information is on the parent portal. So if you log into the parent portal or you log into the student portal and you click on English, all right, for the third quarter you'll need to click this space right here, these two dashes. Once you've clicked on those two dashes, it's going to take you to your individual page. Now you'll notice that these assignments are listed as exactly as those skill areas were on that main page. And each of those assignments, each of those skill areas, will have a student have an opportunity to earn a certain amount of points. So you'll notice that this student has earned 5 points for reading for information point of view here, 4 points here, and 3 points here, and so on. That total number is the number that a student is working towards for the end of the quarter. Also, you have the opportunity to click through to two different spaces within the parent or the student portal. If you actually click on the number that a student has earned credit for, it's going to pop up a dialog box, and in that dialog box, in the comments section, we'll have a breakdown of how many points the student earned for each assignment submitted for that skill area. This way, students will know this is what happened here and this is what happened in another different space. You can also click on the assignment and that link will take you to a full description of each skill area. Notice this is the same text that is in that first page that we talked about. We built this project for this semester so that students could experience English in a little bit of a different way, but specifically for three different reasons. First, we want them to have a high level of interaction with the skills that are necessary for students to be successful moving forward. Not just the things in 8th grade English, but things that we feel can transfer to different subject areas even in 8th grade and as they move on to the high school. We also want to provide students with a high level of feedback. Our plan is to have conversations with students multiple times each week about what they're working on and provide them with feedback in class, but also to provide them with a high level of feedback on the information that they submit. Finally, we want students to have some choice. The ability to develop academic autonomy for us is really important. We feel it translates well to the high school, and we feel that students that can walk in the door and have some decision making of their own are going to be successful long term. Thanks so much for clicking through and watching this video. Please feel free to contact me if you have any other questions.